You're not stuck. You're disconnected. You say you're stuck, that nothing's flowing, that your life feels frozen, like you're waiting on something to move. But nothing does. But you're not stuck. You're just disconnected. Disconnected from your imagination, disconnected from your vision, disconnected from the part of you that knows how powerful you are, but has gone quiet because you stopped listening. Neville Goddard said, "Imagination is the only redemptive power in the universe." That means the moment you stop imagining the life you want, you stop creating it. You start reacting instead, living from memories, from logic, from fear. You go on autopilot. You wake up already tired. You start saying things like realistically and maybe it's not meant for me. And you forget that you are the cause. You're not blocked because the universe is punishing you. You're blocked because you abandoned your power. You started thinking like a victim of life instead of the creator of it. But here's the truth. Your future isn't delayed. It's waiting. Waiting for you to come back home to your imagination. To that quiet place inside of you that already saw it, believed it, and felt it. Why you don't trust yourself anymore, and how to rebuild it. You used to dream freely. You used to say, "I'll figure it out." You used to believe that there was something meant for you, even if you couldn't explain it. So what happened? You failed once, and blamed yourself. You trusted the wrong person, and it hurt. You showed up with a full heart, and got ghosted. You tried, and it didn't work. So you started saying things like, maybe I was delusional, maybe I expected too much, maybe I should be more realistic. No, you shouldn't, because realistic is often just a synonym for wounded. It means that you've been taught to fear your own mind. Neville said, "Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption, and watch the world play its part." You don't need more effort. You need more trust in the unseen, in your own soul, in that little voice that whispers, "Don't give up. You were never crazy for believing." So how do you rebuild that? By keeping promises to yourself in private, by listening when your body says, "This isn't it," by not begging for signs, but being the sign. You start small. You stop outsourcing your knowing. You stop asking the world to validate what God already placed inside you. And slowly, you remember who you are. Your energy is speaking louder than your effort. You've been working hard, trying to fix, to prove, to push through. You're ticking boxes, making plans, staying up late, and still nothing's shifting. Why? Because effort without alignment is noise, and your energy, not your grind, is what speaks the loudest. Neville Goddard didn't say work harder. He said assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Meaning you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you're chasing from lack, you receive more situations that confirm lack. If you act from fear, you attract experiences that validate that fear. It doesn't matter how much action you make. If your energy is screaming, "I don't believe this is mine," the world responds accordingly. Think of it like this. You can plant the seed, but if the soil is poisoned with doubt, guilt, or pressure, nothing will grow. Not because the seed was bad, but because the environment was off. You are the environment. When you align your energy, when your imagination, emotions, and expectations are all in sync, that's when momentum comes. That's when life starts answering back. That's when you stop chasing and start attracting. You don't need a breakthrough. You need a reset. You keep waiting for something dramatic to happen, a breakthrough, a sign, a miracle moment that cracks your life open and fixes everything. But you don't need a breakthrough. You don't need a reset. You need to unlearn the noise. You need to stop thinking your power lives in the future. It doesn't. Your power lives in the now. In the quiet moment you decide to stop abandoning yourself. In the second you stop scrolling, comparing, panicking, and just breathe. This reset doesn't look glamorous. It looks like closing your eyes and remembering what you prayed for. letting go of what you thought you needed to feel worthy, saying, I don't chase, I attract, and if it's not for me, I release it. Neville Goddard taught that the world mirrors the state of your consciousness. If your state is exhaustion, confusion, or fear, the world brings you more of it. But if your state is stillness, clarity, and trust, the world bends. The moment you return to yourself, you return to power. Don't wait for some life-shattering moment. You don't need fireworks. You need to remember that your imagination, your God-given ability to create, is always waiting for you to come back. Your future is waiting for the real you to show up. You keep saying you're waiting on your future, but your future is waiting on you, not the version of you who's exhausted, not the one who's playing small for safety, not the one who's still explaining to herself to people who never saw her in the first place. Your future, the life that you keep visualizing, is already written. But it's waiting for you to stop negotiating with your power. Neville Goddard said, to be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. You can't attract a powerful life whilst entertaining powerless beliefs. You can't call in love while still feeling unworthy. You can't magnetize money while fearing there's never enough. The version of you who gets it all is already living inside you. She doesn't beg. She doesn't wait to feel ready. She doesn't need evidence. She decides, she assumes, she embodies, and then it all starts arriving. If you're feeling blocked right now, this is your moment. Not to hustle, not to panic, but to return. Return to your vision, return to your imagination, return to the version of you who always knew. You were the cause.